YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So we've got something a little different today. Been meaning to do a video on one of these for a while, but we have a gyro, and more specifically it is the AGFRC gyro. It's the GY01 and operating voltage is 3.7 to 3.8 volt, so nice for the high powered servos. Operating current only draws 20 milliamp at 6 volt, and servo output frequency is 50 to 333 hertz. Now let's have a look. So we got some instructions with it. I'll put a couple of slides up round here somewhere so you can see them. But basically it tells you it supports the Sanwa SHR, PWM frequency 50 to 330. That's the input, signal and output. I believe the Sanwa SHR, I think that's the Sanwa plugs that it comes with off the top of my head. Dimensions of it in millimeters are 25.7 by 24.7 by 9.5, so it is quite small. Operating temperature range -10 to +50. We've got an LED, a gain setting, and then a switch to put it into digital or analog mode, and then a switch to reverse the direction that it's turning the servo. You have, so let's get it out of box or bag so we can have a look. So basically that's your little tiny gyro. See if I can get you a close up on that. And then you have, if I undo these, you also get a little plastic screwdriver with it, so you can adjust the gain control if you're not using a third channel. And I believe if you're using the third channel, I think that pot does the maximum throw of the steering as well, so you're not going to be hitting your endpoints too hard anyway. So this one is the one that's used just for gain control. So that one goes into your extra channel. That one is the one that's going to be replacing your servo in your steering from your receiver. And that one is the one that your servo is now going to be plugged into. And it is quite a little lightweight unit, so quite nice. But let's have a look if we've got our else in instructions. So basically, switch 1 does the servo from digital to analog. Digital signal only for digital servos. If you use an analog servo, don't switch it to digital. And it does gear warning because of heat. If you have a analog servo with a digital input going into it, you'll hear the servo chattering constantly and it will heat it up. And then switch 2 is normal and reverse, and then just more about the signal. Now the gain control, basically your third channel or whatever you plug that into, the sensitivity range is 0 to ±100, 0 being no gain, plus or minus 100 will be maximum gain. So it depends which way you want to go with your channel on whatever controller you've got. It does say while adjusting via gain channel, gyro potentiometer is the servo angle adjustment. Maximum is clockwise. And do not plug in gain wire into the gyro's S potentiometer, can be used for adjustment. So basically, if you have this wire on its own plugged into a channel, that will be the maximum travel of your steering. And if you don't have that plugged into a channel, that pot is how you adjust the gain, or the amount of gain it gives you as a gyro. So let's see if we can get this set up. Right, so we've got a basic setup here. We've got a LiPo, power and a ZSC. We've got the tiny little FGR4B. So a ZSC goes into channel 2. Your servo with the 3 wires on it, your servo wire, goes into channel 1. your sense wire for the third channel, so the plug with just one wire goes into channel 3 if that's what you're going to use, and your servo goes into the output from the gyro. So when you power this up, a flashing red light, slow flashing red light, means it's being controlled by the potentiometer. You'll know you've got your plugs all in right way around if you get a solid red light. That means the gain on this is being controlled by the NB4 or whatever you've got it connected to. Fast flashing light means the gyro's powering up. So let's see if I can get you a shot of that. So you see it flash really fast, and then it'll show you what mode it's in. So if you imagine we've got this set up in the car, if the car moves, we've got channel 3 set at 0 gain, so no movement when the car moves, and we've got full steering. So what we need to do is, if we start turning up the gain, you'll then notice, what's this on? So basically from about 3%, maybe 4, yeah, about 6%, we start getting some movement. So it's counter steering for us when the car steps out. And that is 20%, so we're getting quite a lot more. 30%, even more. That's 40%. Let's wind it all the way up to 100. Let's see how sensitive this gyro is. I'd say that is very, very sensitive. So even the slightest bit of movement, it is now trying to counter steer for us. But it doesn't look like any vibration will set it off. It is just really sensitive to a tiny bit of movement. Now, what you get with the gain limit potentiometer now is that's how you set the endpoint for the servo. So if we wind the gain potentiometer down, so the maximum travel is now really low, and then as you start turning it clockwise, you'll get to the point where the maximum travel is at the full extent of the servo. So you just want to make sure when you've got it in your RC and you're setting it up, make sure the maximum travel is not going to exceed your endpoints of where you need your servo to stop, or else you're going to be stripping gears in servos or breaking end stops. Now we've got in the NB4, if you go into RX set servo frequency, set all channels or set your steering, whichever you want to do, but we've got it set to 333 because that's what it says it maxes out at. So we've still got a steering, and then while we're steering, the gyro will try and correct for us. But that's a nice quick look and a quick setup of what we're doing with this for the gyro, and I hope you like it. If you find this kind of video interesting or useful, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, share to friends and family, and I'll catch you guys again in the next one.